AI was coined in 1957. 1957, AI has been coined. That was a traditional AI. Now the AI what you are seeing today is basically a modern AI which uses a lot of data. Basically working on a lot of problem solving approach skills. A lot of industry knowledge would be required. Uh, Also in the AI, the important aspect is there that since you are getting trained on a specialized domain, you need to have some, because you are going to interact with a team where you are a AI expert, you need to have some leadership skills as well. So that is also very, very important aspect on the AI side. So it sorry, I got disconnected.
Sir.
Yeah. So so what I mean to say that we have to have leadership skills, which is very much required if you actually start working on this AI or for any specialized expert. If you're expert in say security, you also have a leadership skill. If you're expert in robotics, also have a skill because you have to interact with the other set of people. Okay, those who are not expert in that particular domain. So you have to have leadership skills also, or management skills also very much important in the AI side. AI is, in fact, is going to have a kind of take a in every space wherever we are working. It's going to influence those space, whether it's a financial domain, whether it's a healthcare. A lot of AI applications are coming up. Whether it's a media, marketing, whether it's a defense sector, the government sector, security, IoT side, smart cities, agriculture. So whatever domain you can think of, AI is going to influence that particular domain. So it's very, very important that this point of time, if you have inclination to learn this specialized domain, you just select that and you train yourself to that domain. Very, very going to be very, very good future you're going to have. Another 30-35 years you are there in the in this active developmental circle. So you have AI knowledge will always give you a better place in the industry when you start working on. So this was the kind of just introduction I wanted to give you on the AI side also. And if you talk about robotics also, we had started a course post diploma in robotics and allied technologies. C-DAC Kolkata is having a intrinsic they are working on this robotics area since very long. For many different domains, they are specialized in developing the robotics applications, and hence we had discussions, and then we have thought of starting this robotics course. Robotics course is particularly going to it's very, very important aspect when you talk about the manufacturing or automobile sector. It's a very much important aspect. Industrial robotics is something which is always been there in use, but Now there is intelligence which is also built in the robotics system. So AI and robotics are also coming together, and they are creating a lot of differences in the manufacturing sector. Apart from the manufacturing sector, like if you have in this defense or in this agriculture sector or in the healthcare sector, it's again coming up in the very big ways. Those who have been trained as a robotics engineer will have a very great future in those areas, and I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that you will always, if you get trained as a robotics engineer, will always have a better place in the IT industry. Okay, you'll not be considered as a journalist in the IT industry. You always have a specialized person in the IT industry. So, people from Kolkata, Dr. Hinya Rai will talk more about this robotics course, and we have expert from who are the very good faculty with almost all the C-DAC centers. He will be talking about the avenues in this AI side. Right now, we have 4 centers running on AI, which is Patna, Pune, Noida, and Silchar also started in this AI kind of course. And robotics is only done at the C-DAC Kolkata side. So it's your option. But whatever you do, you think very carefully before taking these kind of courses, and then only because it requires a lot of effort. Okay, learning these kind of things requires a lot of effort. Okay, so thank you very much for the present listening from my side. One correction I'll try to make what Saket had said. I am the chairman of Academic Management Committee of PAN C-DAC, not Academic Council, Academic Management Committee. So I'm looking after the operations of all the C-DAC centers and the policy making all the C-DAC centers. So that's all from my side, and over to Saket.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your insights on what was the background and how you have come up to different courses and what was the idea to design these courses, particularly AI and robotics, and what is the future, why someone who is doing courses in AI and robotics or DBD as such would have a specialized skill set which would be surely worthful in any companies. So with this, I would like to invite our expert speaker, and we would have around 10-15 minutes of expert talk on AI and robotics. And with me now on speak on PGDI, which is obviously when we are talking of a course, it is backed by 2 things. That is a manpower who is working behind it, and the IT infrastructure which we have to push up to act as a catalyst for your courses. So C-DAC Pune or Noida or any C-DAC center as such who is running these courses would have scientists or groups dedicated working for AI, and IT infra dedicated to working. In C-DAC Patna, we have AI specialized group, and the scientists from AI group teach you in addition to industry experts. And we also have Param Buddha HPC AI supercomputer to AI petaflop, which fuels up your project demands of AI supercomputer or AI node as such. So currently the batch undergoing project would have access of this and certainly would do excel in intense computation. So with this thought, I would like to invite Dr. DP Sharma to please continue with your presentation, sir.
Sir, my voice is audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Thank you, sir. So, thank you, Adit sir, inviting me. Thank you, Saket sir, also. And let me just a minute, friends. Let me. Yes. So I am here to give a talk on emerging technologies and jobs, specifically in AI field. So, in fact, guys, first of all, congratulations for getting clearing this C-DAC entrance examination. Now, guys, that nowadays I am showing this graph. There's an intention for this. Let's say someone wants to do a course on some technologies. As per the current pattern, because my friend has done this, or maybe because of social pressure, we used to select the courses. But now the time has come, we have to think logically while selecting or undergoing a course. So this I am showing you one that hype cycles, that is Gartner is every year they used to release what are the top most the technology will be there in next coming few years. And in fact, the reason to go through such cycles, uh, I will take a simple example. Uh, Whenever movie released, because of movie hype, media hype sometimes, that what happens. Sometimes there is a big hype given by the media to the movie, but end of the day that movie goes off super flop. Same thing might happen while you're selecting the course also. So please do lot of surveys before selecting the course, as rightly said by the Aditya sir. So I'm showing over here, these are the trends you can see over here. As far as AI is concerned, you can see over here there is a generative AI, and you can see over here they have given the coloring scheme also. So what they are saying basically, if you in this region, if you see the technology, that is media hype given to those technologies, that may be true, may not be true, we never know. But they have done some analysis and they are saying, see, they are saying in blue tick 2 to 5 years against the generative AI. What does mean it? It will take 2 to 5 years to reach in a production environment. It will be in production. So basically, in the same way, let's say for about data fabric is once again a new emerging area that going to be dominate the market in coming years. But again, it will basically in production, end user will be using down the line after 5 to 10 years. So we have to selective, very very selective while selecting the course. So let me take you the next slide. So as I told you, data fabric see at production time maybe taking 5 to 10 years, but we have to be ready. We have to train the that manpower for that technology. So data fabric is an emerging area. So data fabric is something analogy I am giving with the cloth that construction. So here you do knitting, then stitching, then you that come up with the clothes. In the same way, within the organization, data across the platform, across the user, in different parts of the organization line. So data fabric is a technique by which you can basically integrate the whole stuff across the platform, across the user, and as and when it's required, you can produce it. So data fabric going to be dominate the whole that AI area. And now in data, in order to basically work in this AI area, these are the job profiles. You may be work as a data engineers, you may work as a data analyst, you may work as a data scientist, or maybe AI and ML engineers. So either of one skill, one job profile you can work, or maybe if you are working on a small startup company, then in this case they might that ask you to work on all the roles simultaneously at the same time. But again, what happened that this is something like that. If you are working on the same profile, so, for all the profiles, like data engineer, data analyst, that is the requirement of a small startup. This is something like that you are expecting a couple of that is not possible that everyone is going to be excellent in all the area. So select one proper area as per your interest. So let me just go deeper down that how you can select the area where you can excel your career. So so I have shown the data science full stack, the slide name is. So here you can see over here, if you want to work as a data engineer, then your job is what? Just to maintain the data warehouse. So from there you will collect the data. Nowadays data is mostly generated by the IoT devices, mobile devices, or maybe you are extracting data from third-party API from different websites. So these are the maybe social media, Twitters, all those stuff. From there you are getting data inside your data warehouse. Then you have to store in such a way, in efficient way, so that as and when someone is required, you can give it the data in a one click. So this is the profile of data engineers. Then comes to the data analyst. In this case, whatever data given by the data engineer, your job is to analyze that data, maybe by using some statistical tools, maybe some graphs, by plotting some graphs, or maybe some mathematical tools like machinery, like linear algebra, calculus. So all those stuffs will be required in order to analyze that data. So this is the job of data analyst. And after that, the step is model creation. So as far as data scientist is concerned, data scientist is supposed to know these two fields: exploratory data analysis, this is called EDA, and model creation. This both skill set has to be there if you want to work as a data scientist. So there are three main roles related to data science. Now come to the ML engineer or AI engineers. So their role is what? Some sort of more software engineering side. So their job is basically whatever model the data scientist has created, how to going to deploy in the runtime environment. This is the job of ML engineer. What will be the load of the server, how many the systems will be required, all those stuff. That is the jugglery will taken care by the person working on this role, ML engineer. So what happens, friends? If you know everything, I'm still saying everyone can't know everything, but still, in case of the small startup, when you're starting your career, they might think of a little bit of everything. That is okay, but you have to select the area very carefully. So this slide is showing a different functionality as per their job roles. Let me take you to the next slide. So here you can see over here what are the skill sets you should have to become as a data engineers, data analyst, or data scientist. So for example, in case of data engineers, you should be knowing how to maintain the big cluster like Hadoop, Spark. Then you should be knowing the SQLs, Python, Java, all those stuff you should be knowing to be a data engineer. When you talk about data analyst, in this case, you should be knowing statistics, Python, SQL, or maybe nowadays, rather than drawing graph through coding, there's a sophisticated tools are also available like Tableau, Power BI. So all those things should be there on your toolkit. Then only you can think of data analysts. And as far as domain knowledge is concerned, while working in a particular area, let's say you're working in finance, and over the year of experience, that basically will add the domain knowledge, going to add in your domain knowledge. And when you talk about data scientist, as I told you, data scientist is just in addition to data analysis job, they're supposed to create a model. So in order to be a data scientist, you should be knowing stats, you should be knowing any one programming language, Python. Nowadays, that R is in demand, but not too much as compared to Python. You should be knowing SQL, then you should be knowing that advanced library that is used in deep learning like TensorFlow, Scikit-learn, NumPy, Pandas. So all those stuff you should be knowing if you want to be a data scientist. So these are the three main roles. It's very, very specific to data science. And as I told you in the last slide, once again take to you, this model deployment is a responsibility of the ML engineer, and this is more towards software engineering driven job profile. So these are the four possible options you can think of over here. And now as far as salary is concerned, friends, so in data engineers, you can have think of as a fresher 8 lakh per year. And this is, I have taken a small startup based companies. I have not considered a product based company. I'm just thinking of that average. There are very few people, the percentage people that they are very genius, they will go to the product based company. So this data I have taken by considering that bulk population. So data analyst is 6 lakh per, and data scientist, obviously this is the main role. So the salary is higher side. At the same time, skill set will also be at higher side. Now next 2 to 3 slides, I will show you what are the applications nowadays people are working on AI. For example, in this slide I will show you one YouTube video. In that what they have done it artificially, they have created Barack Obama video, and that video was never existed, that AI has created. And you are, by naked eye you can't make any difference which one is real, which one is fabricated. So let me show you this. Maybe you can think of this is a misuse of this technology, but this is nowadays people are working. So let me just show you, sir, how to share the audio.
Yeah, in settings option, sir.
Setting option, where it is setting option.
More if you can go to
More, okay.
Stop
Incoming video only.
No, in settings besides to it.
Okay, settings. Where I receiving video, the background.
There would be an option to allow audio.
Yes, yes. Mirror my video. I don't know what is this. No option is coming. Maybe I will first stop sharing.
Yeah.
Then I will try it. Okay. Yes, share my system video. Yes, coming.
Yes.
Okay.
Given this audio as input,
it's been less than a week since the deadliest mass shooting in American history.
our method produces the following output.
It's been less than a week since the deadliest mass shooting in American history. And foremost in all of our minds has been the loss and the grief felt by the people of Orlando.
Here's the ground truth video of Obama saying the same words.
Especially our friends who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender. I visited with the
But we are not able to hear you.
So now is audible? Hello?
Yes, sir. It is audible, sir.
Audible. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So now coming to the next application. In this application, you can see over here, you give the big image to AI, and AI will tell you very specifically what are the components are present in this image, where exactly they are present, how many in number they are present. So for example, there may be a good application that is generated by AI, although those applications were there but not too much efficient. Let's say you want to know that in any function you want to know how many head counts, that those applications can be very useful. Now let me show you one more application. Here you can see over here, you just give the context, one context to the AI, and AI will generate a text for you. So you can think of that nowadays that if you want to write an email, you have to think and you have to write. There will be in future, what will happen? You just give the context to the computer. Computer will type the email, the full page email to you. In fact, people are now trying to generate a full book that is totally written by AI. So these are some applications in AI. Now talk about this. Others are talking about these are the courses. I have gone through the courses personally, And I can tell you, they have designed the course really. Hats off to Adit sir. They have done a very good job. And one thing, friends, I want to tell over here, there are so many other courses that companies are there, edutech company are there. You can go there and you can learn. But when you talk about hands-on, C-DAC having a supercomputing power, and nowadays whatever example that I have shown you regarding book generation or maybe Obama video, all such application, if you want to generate, you require supercomputing power that C-DAC have. So C-DAC in that sense having an advantage over here. So friends, decide and join the courses. I have shown the cycle. Just go through that and select the course as per your interest. And I can tell you the future for AI, at least 30 years you will enjoy if you learn this technology. That's I want to say. And if any questions, that I am open for question and answer session, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for telling us how every career perspective, what is important, what is not, and what are the 4 roles, and how every roles could be sufficed and could be easily achieved by the modules we have covered in PGDI, especially related to Python, deep learning network, RNN, or NLP, or CV as such, or mathematics is also covered in detail. So thank you, sir, for overall picture given to all the candidates who have joined us. Now, I would request Hina ma'am to kindly join and share your screen and present and share your views on the robotics course for the students. Hina ma'am is Joint Director, C-DAC Kolkata, and is personally seeing module delivery and also delivering many of the modules of robotics. So over to you, ma'am. Ma'am, you're not audible.
Yeah. Now I am audible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon to all the young aspirants who are willing to join in C-DAC course. And good afternoon to Dr. Aditya, Dr. T.P. Sharma, Dr. Shaket, and all my fellow friends. Now we are at the era of Industry 4.0. And before going to discuss in details about the technology and the scope and the future aspects of this type of technology, I just want to share a brief of the slide, it's not moving. Just a minute. I just want to type the slides.
Request all participants to be intact. We will handle the question answer session for AI and robotics. So all of you can stick for another 15-20 minutes. We will answer all the discussion queries. Okay, ma'am, you can start.
Yeah. Slide share, slide share. So myself, Dr. Hina, I'm the Joint Director, C-DAC Kolkata, and parallelly, I am also the Adjunct Professor of IIT ISM Dhanbad. I'm looking after this activity for long back, as Dr. Aditya told. And basically, we have started our journey from 2003-04, where we just did the embedded systems development. And slowly we went through the VLSI design and IP codes and all. Now we are in the IoT and robotics and also some sort of AI, because these all are the interdisciplinary subjects. So everything is linked with the others one. So if we go to the industrial revolution, we have seen that we are now at the age of Industry 4.0, where initially we have driven by water and steam power, and slowly we are into the electric energy. And at the age of 1970 to 1990, we have seen there is a lot many revolution has come because of the introduction of the information. Information is everywhere. And that's why we can use the term AI, we can use the term of the connected things like IoT and robotics. Now the entire technology, that the advancement of the technology is characterized by the cyber physical systems where everything is now connected. So just I want to speak onto the things because now the young bright career, they can be part of all the revolution and they can be a part of the technology where we are now, because everybody is now surrounded by the advanced technology. Whatever we are think, whatever we are react, whatever we are doing, that's all at the involvement of the technology. So if we go into details of the robotics and all, so we will see that the entire things is bounded by the advancement of technology. So everywhere the technology and technology. If we see that the what is robots and all, it is nothing but the forced labor. What we people can do, then the machine can also do the same thing and repetitive tasks. So these all are about the robots and all. And you can see there is a lot many technologies are being involved in the robotics, because you can see you have to identify where it is. So you have to have some sensor interface like the GPS, like the GNSS, and all these things are being there. And you have to sense the environment, because everything in our surroundings are analog in nature. So you have to brief the information from the environment, and then you have to process it, because we are at the age of digital era. No analog electronics are there. So you have to sense this information, you have to process the information, and then after processing, you are not in, because you all are connected to everywhere. So you have to connect your information to outside world, so that outside world and everybody can use your information, your technology. So connection is also required. And after getting the connection, you have to think what to do with the things, what to do with the parameters, what to do with the data. So you have to think on yourself as you are thinking, and you are also putting your intelligence to the system, to the machine, through your AI. That's artificial intelligence, through the explainable AI. So the machine can take a decision. And after taking the decision, what you have to do, you have to act. You have to do the actuation. So let's say you want to do the actuation. Let's say you want to spray the fertilizer, you want to spray the water. So you have to do the actuation. So based on your algorithm, based on your intelligence, you have to do accordingly. So after the actuation is over, what you have to do, you have to learn, because you have to take the future diagnosis, future monitoring, what you have to do. So once again, you need to have the AI. So without AI, without sensor, without sensing systems and the information communication and all, you cannot do anything. So entire things is now in a single platform. It's like a global village. So everything is now being connected. So you are in the right platform. So where you can put your potential, where you can put your knowledge to disseminate, to do something for the society, for the benefit of our motherland. So these all are the technologies are getting involved in everywhere, maybe embedded system, maybe a sensing system, maybe IoT, maybe robotics, and everywhere you have to have the incorporation of technology that is called the artificial intelligence, because you are going to develop something where you are just mimicry the human behavior, because it is a term called the forced labor. So you are trying to do something with the help of the machine. So machine should have the intelligence. So you have to have the technology inside the machine. So there are different types of robots by locomotion, maybe a stationary, maybe wheeled, maybe legged, and we all are familiar with the term humanoid. So humanoid robot is very familiar to all of us because of the childhood itself. We are known by the whenever there is a human type of structure, and that is a robot. But it is not like that. It is maybe a stationary, maybe a wheeled, maybe a legged, maybe a different type of architecture, maybe a bird type of thing, maybe a robot. If it can do the performance based on your command, based on your instruction. So these all are this type of robot where we can see that's a stationary robot.
Bank America's all-new SR series Scara robots are an excellent solution for general high-speed pick-and-place applications.
Basically, pick and
This
place type of
demonstration
robot.
highlights
This is
that
a
Fanuc
stationary,
Scara
it cannot
robots
move.
are also
So there are some robots that is called a wheel concept. So wheel, that's a wheeled vehicle. There are some legged robot that can move like we people are moving. And there are some approach made by the mobile robot. And you can see that the humanoid also. So after getting all this development, where we are now, we are in a very growing stage. There is an exponential growth in India because we have started little bit late than other developing countries. Now industrial robot is projected to rise by 4.2% per annum. So there is a huge market, lot of scope are there for design, development, implementation, and ultimately to serve our country. And so opportunities are enormous, not only in the agriculture, maybe healthcare, maybe industrial, maybe a space. There are a lot of exploration are there. And now India is emerging as one of the top markets for robots. So you people can understand to where we are now. So those people are the giant player in India, mainly the KUKA, ABB, and Robert Bosch. And a lot of institutes, they are also doing research on the robotics, mainly the BARC, DRDO, ISRO, and C-DAC is also a leader in this field. And a lot of startups are there, mainly in western part of our country. And these ABB, Asiatica, CME, they all are the working in the robotics. So who is basically using that robots by application? There are many applications, mainly solar, medical, and all the industry like diamond and jewelry, defense, astronaut, biomedical, everywhere there is an use of robot, not in India, but in abroad also. But now the question comes to our mind, if we concentrate about the application of robots in agriculture, we have seen from the figure that in the times comes, there is a lot of populations, overgrowth, but the India map is very, very fixed. So we have to serve our society, we have to give the food to all the people. But what we have seen, there is a climate change and all. So we cannot produce that much of food. So we have to do the robotics, we have to do the AI, we have to do the IoT, so that we can able to serve our country. We have to give the food to all the people. And there is no income of the farmers. Why it is happening? Because there is a slowly migration of the young generation literate people to the IT and other industry. But we have to use the technology to make themselves available for the agriculture, for the healthcare, for the industrial applications and all. So in the figure, we can see that the climate change affect our production. By 2018, we can produce less than 25% of food, but our population is exploding like anything. So there are many things are there, but I will show you a video where we can show you that how we people can involved into the course, involved into the technology. Many things are available, but not a single things are working in agriculture domain nowadays also. So many things, unmanned aerial vehicle, tractors and all. So C-DAC as a whole, all C-DAC took initiative to start the activity on robotics, making uses of all the technology like embedded systems, IoT, AI, sensor, sensing systems, and make it proven that yes, C-DAC can do the development in the field of robotics. So I'll show you that the video where C-DAC is developed this type of agricultural robot, which is operational in the field. And before that, I just want to say one thing, that why all the technologies are required and why the course has come into the picture. Just have a look on the system, the architecture of the robot. There you have to have the processors and you have to have the high performance computing unit where C-DAC specialty comes into picture, because C-DAC is famous for the supercomputer. So we have to use such type of supercomputer into the robot, where we can do the intelligence computing, parallel computing, and many sensors are getting involved into the control board. And this sensory information is very much required to make it operational in the real field. And there are a lot of actuators are there just to drive the systems into the field. And to get the positional informations where it is, we have used the real-time kinematics. So you can have an idea that what are the things are being involved. It is involved hardware, it involves software, it involves the communication network, it involves the software. Basically, you have to write the GUI, you have to write the control logic. So everything is being involved into the system. And another important thing is that you can contribute in the development of software in the robotic operating systems, where you can do a development of the modular software. So these all are the things are being taught in the class itself. So this is the framework, this is the GUI, where you can develop the entire things in either Python or Java or VC++ or any object-oriented language. So there should have some database. Database is basically for the future application. And this can do by using the image processing, as our previous speaker told, that lot many things can be done through the image processing, OpenCV, Python, and TensorFlow and all. Now I'll show that the development where C-DAC contributes a lot in industry. First time in India, I'll show you that the development, this basically a wheeled platform that is for agricultural applications, for paddy cultivation. And this cultivation basically involved that the sowing of seeds, entire crop scouting, disease detection, spraying of pesticide and fertilizer, and only thing it cannot done, that is a harvesting. This machine is already available, but this type of robot with such ground clearance and specified for the Indian agriculture is not present. So I'll just show you demo to understand where C-DAC is now. It is in the field, that is a Vishwa Agricultural University, Ranchi, and it is working fine because the field, and the vehicle is fully autonomous. So no need of any human intervention to drive the systems. It can do the entire operation, like the sowing of seeds and the crop scouting through its own program. Now, what are the bottlenecks that we have to identify, that you young people will identify, how we can overcome, how we can contribute in this such development. And we understand to go ahead with such technology and all, young people should be into the field. So we have to come forward. We have to generate the skilled manpower so that you can contribute in terms of development, design, and implementation. Hence, we designed the course that is called the Postgraduate Diploma in Robotics and Allied Technology and PGDRAT. Basically, this is for the BTech graduate, and MSc, MS candidate can also join. And keeping the design point of view, we have kept the course structure in such a way you have to be familiar with the different tools and techniques to design the robotics framework, electrical design of robots, programming concepts, and electronics. This is a very important thing because you have seen in the previous video that a lot of sensors and actuator interface are there. And robotic operating system, that is a very, very important to understand the robotics and allied technology, mission and motion planning, because you have to make it unmanned. So it is autonomous in nature, and AI ML based robotic vision. So either without the camera interface and all, that cannot move into the field. And you have to be make ready for the domestic market as well as the global market. So we will give you the class on aptitude and effective communication, and we will provide you the ongoing projects where you can contribute in development of some modules and all. So there is an enormous time, there is 200 hours for the projects and seminar. This is all about from the robotics course. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks for sharing agriculture perspective of robotics, how it can be used for welfare of society, and also why C-DAC course has been designed very holistic approach to cover everything, AI, ML based robotic, mechanical design, electric design, programming concepts and all. So with this thought, I would like to end our expert talk on this. Take off your career with us. It can be in AI, robotics, or any such. Since you all are particularly interested in these two domains, don't wait for next opportunity. Don't wait for next cycle. Don't wait for anything else. It has been proven time and again from last 20 years that these courses are worth with the perspective of industry and also research. So come enroll with us. All the details have already been mentioned in admission booklet. AI are run at 4 centers. Robotics are run at C-DAC Kolkata. So fill your choice. And regarding this, regarding any queries which you have now regarding AI, robotics, or in general any C-DAC courses, our director Aditya Kumar Sinha sir has been there in this meeting all along, and he would be answering all the discussion, all the queries you have. So you can, in parallel, we have also YouTube live stream going on, and there some questions have come up. So I would put up there, and if anyone has question in Zoom, they can raise their hand. We would call out the name, and then you can unmute and speak. So first question it has come from Soham Kubal. He's asking, why should I pursue online DAI or DBDA course from C-DAC than other platform which offer similar courses for less amount? What he is trying to say, sir.
What is the name for the person?
His name is Soham Kubal.
Soham, okay. Soham, very good afternoon. You have a lot of options available. You have even MOOC courses are available. You have when we started in 2015, there were no any courses available in postgraduate diploma in big data analytics, because expertise was not there anywhere in India. So we started the course. Of late, many courses have come into the system. The uniqueness of about these C-DAC courses are there that these courses are not academic courses. These courses are basically designed by the people who are experiencing the project, the technologies, working on those technologies. Those people were involved in designing these courses, whether it's a C-DAC scientist or it's a industry experts. And it's a continuous discussion for a couple of months, 3 months, 4 months. And we come out with a kind of plan and we put the course. These courses are also, every year we have to have a 2-day workshops after the designing of the course to modify those courses or update those courses. It's a very comprehensive course, 900-hour programs. Basically, if you do some if you have some analytics kind of course, if you do at some places, at some university like MTech program and all, so whatever you learn there, everything has been fitted in this particular course. So it is basically almost similar to the kind of MTech courses what some of the universities are running, but they are covering in 2 years, because they have limited number of hours they interact with the students. Here you have almost 900 hours interactions are there. So and the most important aspects are there, that's recognized. The industry is recognizing this particular course. From the industry, people are coming and recruiting the students from these kind of courses. That kind of facilities are not available with the other institutions. If you can go and just find it out that what kind of placement records are there. They may have a little But here in this particular course, we have yesterday also we had talked about you have a statistics, in fact, that almost 90-95% people are getting placed. Some of the few people are not able to do so because they are not very much serious in the course. That's why they have not got placed. So hardly 1 or 2 people are not getting placed. So that is kind of a scenario which have been created, known to industry. Industry comes for this kind of courses. They come into C-DAC for recruitment and all. So this is there about the PGDBDA. And what other courses is talking about?
Both, sir. AI and DBDA is trying to compare.
So this is a deep understanding course. This is the way we teach, the way we conduct the lab sessions. This is very give you a very deep understanding about it.
And
It's
just to
it's a very deep understanding about things.
Just to add what sir has already explained in detail, you can get an idea, Soham, that generally it is not that we are concentrating on academicians to teach you. I'm not saying they are bad, but when we are onboarding scientists who are already working on national projects in these domains, plus the industry experts जो अलग-अलग project पे already काम कर रहे हैं, तो you would get a new horizon कि okay, we can see deep learning ऐसे भी. It is not limited to book कि deep learning ऐसे ही जाएगा. It is with respect to their experiences they are applying on a project. So this is major difference in addition to what sir has already told you. So sure,
and not many robotics courses there in the market. Robotics, yes, they are very shallow course. Just give you some idea about robotics. Not a deep-rooted course. What Dr. Hina had talked about. It's a very deep-rooted course. Basically, it actually makes you the expert in that field. That is the only difference. Other courses may have it. There might be a number of courses. They might be very good. But I can talk about my course. That is very well drafted and very well input has been taken from the industry, and based on that we have the course, and this is actually prepare you for the industry ready manpower. So that is the kind of objective what we have.
Okay, sir. So next question.
Hope you are agreeing with that. Thank you very much.
So next question is from Om Prakash Munde. He is asking, I am from electrical engineering background. So should I learn software development via PGDAC or I should opt for PGAI because I have no prior computer science knowledge?
See, the way we take up the courses in C-DAC, a gentle knowledge about the subject is good. Okay, if you talk about DAC program or if you talk about AI is not, because nobody, many of you might have gone through the machine learning kind of things and all, but very early level kind of things. You don't need kind of expertise in any such kind of things. You have to have a general awareness about the computation. Okay, that is good enough to learn these courses, because earlier we had when I talked about the genesis of the C-DAC courses. Earlier we used to start from the very different level. So we are expecting that we used to send them books, the materials to read, and then come for the courses. But now things are different. We are starting from the very basic things, and whatever necessary which is required to train you to become a very good software developers or the AI experts. We are covering every aspect of that. So no prior knowledge much about things, but awareness has already been there. Mindset is there. And the second thing is that you should be willing to put effort. If you're putting the effort, then only you will be learning. Whatever course you opt for, you will be learning, you have to put the effort. That course, things are a little much easier because it's mostly the programming oriented course. You have a number of programming things are there, the web development things are there, but AI kind of things are there where you have your knowledge of the mathematics and other aspects also have to come into the picture. So those are the important difference that you have to find it out. If you're willing to put efforts on the fundamental of mathematics and other aspect also, and a lot of effort on this problem solving and building the algorithms, then the course you can opt for AI. Otherwise, you can go for the DAC program, PG-DAC.
All right. Thank you, sir. Now I would request Kundan to unmute and kindly ask your query.
Hello, sir.
You're audible.
Sir, sir, I just want to know I'm from a mechanical background, so how the mechanical student are performing in AI course, because the first batch is allowed for the mechanical student for the C-DAC course. That's why.
Okay. See, particularly AI is a field which is now dominating in almost all the domains, all the engineering fields. Not only engineering, the management, whatever field, medical, every field AI is getting dominated. As Dr. Hina was talking about the robotics course, we have seen that major part of the robotics also the AI. And being a mechanical engineer also, you are the best choice for the robotics side of things, because you understand those mechanical devices which is used for the robotics, mechanical hand, all those stuff. Because ultimately robotics is all about the mechanics with the intelligence. Okay, mechanical with the intelligence and all those kind of things are there. So every 6 months pattern is changing. Okay. See, what I talk about the IT scenario, if you see, it's changing very fast, very fast. Exponential developments are happening. What had happened 1 year before, what is happening today, and what is going to happen after 6 months is very different. Okay, so take an option. If you see the course content, the description of the course content is also been there at our website. So just see that. If you think that you are able to do those kind of things, just opt for that.
Okay.
You will learn, and rest you leave to us that which company will come, how you will get placed, everything will be taken care of.
So point is basically, Kundan, if you are committed enough, if you are determined enough, that I can, and surely, as Sarah said, mechanical guys are doing excel in DAC, AI. We have students from mechanical background, robotics, so they are already doing excel. So if commitment is there, and if you have that zeal ki yaar kuch karna hai is 6 mahine mein, we are responsible to give you good trainers across domain, and obviously the placement are our responsibility. So only thing what we want from you is you are dedicated enough that you are going to give everything in this 7 months, in this 900 hours. So surely you can opt for any courses which you feel very strongly from your heart. It may be AI, it may be DAC, it may be robotics, and you will do excel. That is why we have kept as an eligibility, because we have seen the industry requirements and we have seen the students from those background being performing it.
Okay.
Okay, so next question, Shreyas, you can unmute and ask.
Hello, sir. Sir, is it okay if I'm talking Hindi?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. सर मेरे को ये जानना था कि जैसे आपने बताया कि मैथमेटिक्स में कैलकुलस और ये लीनियर अलजेब्रा और ये सब चीजें की आपको जरूरत पड़ेगी, तो ये सारी चीजें आप सिखाएंगे कि हमें पहले से सीख के आनी रहेगी?
एक तो मैं था सर, एक जस्ट हैव a go to the C-DAC.in, ACT.in, there you have this entire syllabus is there. Even little description about all the courses are there. There are sufficient hours given for the mathematics. Okay, mathematics. Right? Sufficient hours are given for the mathematics and statistics. Mathematics
to be exact,
statistics का एक अलग कोर्स है, उसमें एक मॉड्यूल है जिसमें कि तुम्हें जो भी रिक्वायरमेंट है, इट्स नॉट वेरी एग्जॉस्टिव, बहुत एग्जॉस्टिव नहीं बनाया गया है. जो रिक्वायरमेंट तुमको एआई से लगने वाला है, जो स्टैटिस्टिक्स तुम्हें जानना चाहिए, जो लीनियर अलजेब्रा तुम्हें जाननी चाहिए, वो सारी चीजें वहां पर पढ़ाई जाती है. गुड प्रोफेसर, बहुत अच्छा प्रोफेसर है जो आके पढ़ाते हैं, तुमको इंटरेस्ट आएगा उसमें, क्योंकि ये चीजें यूज होंगी. जो भी तुम चीज पढ़ोगे, पढ़ोगे, जो भी चीज तुम आगे पढ़ते जाओगे, दैट ये तुम्हें यूज होने वाला है. ठीक है, इसलिए थोड़ा कंसंट्रेट करना पड़ेगा. मैथमेटिक्स इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है. जब तुम मॉडल्स डेवलप करोगे उसमें मैथमेटिक्स यूज होगा, स्टैटिस्टिक्स यूज होगा। जब तुम एल्गोरिथम डेवलप करोगे वहां मैथमेटिक्स और स्टैटिस्टिक्स यूज होगा। तो उसमें थोड़ा सा कंसंट्रेट करना पड़ेगा, अच्छे ढंग से उसको पढ़ना पड़ेगा।
So
सिलेबस
this is
पढ़ाते हैं, उसके बाद पढ़ाते हैं, जो भी रिक्वायरमेंट है वो पढ़ाते हैं।
अच्छा सर, एक चीज और ये जाननी थी कि ये जो प्लेसमेंट्स होते हैं ये कंपनीज में भी होते हैं कि गवर्नमेंट इंस्टीट्यूट्स में, जैसे डीआरडीओ है, इसरो है, इसमें भी होते हैं?
तो क्या है कि जो रिक्वायरमेंट होती है उस हिसाब से होता है। डीआरडीओ वगैरह में तो अभी तक एक बीच बीच में आते हैं, उनकी रिक्वायरमेंट का सेक्टर बहुत अलग होता है, वो एडवर्टाइजमेंट करते हैं, और गवर्नमेंट में रिक्रूटमेंट का अलग प्रोसेस होता है। उनका एडवर्टाइजमेंट आता है, उसके बाद वो अपना लेते हैं। लेकिन सीडैक लेती है, सीडैक जो अपने R&D के लिए इस रिक्रूट करती है। इनफैक्ट जो जीरो डे होता है सीडैक के लिए होता है। तो C-DAC का बहुत ही स्टैंडर्ड पैकेज है जो 6.5 से 7 लाख के बीच का होता है। तो उसमें C-DAC रिक्रूट करती है प्रोजेक्ट इंजीनियर। एक बेनिफिट होता है C-DAC में ज्वाइन करने का कि जब तुम ज्वाइन करते हो C-DAC में डिफरेंट लेवल का होता है। अगर तुमने AI में काम किया है और AI में तुम्हें डिफरेंट लेवल का काम, जो कि अदरवाइज जो कमर्शियल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं और मल्टीनेशनल, उसमें ऐसा अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिलता है। 2 साल 3 साल 4 साल का एक्सपीरियंस C-DAC का जो है बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण माना जाता है, और लोग बड़े बड़े कंपनी में चले जाते हैं उसके बाद छोड़ करके। तो ये इम्पोर्टेंट है, C-DAC लेती है। लेकिन बाकी कम जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, गवर्नमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, उनका एक अपना एक प्रोसेस होता है। उसमें तुम जाओगे तो शायद उसमें भी क्वालिफाई करके, जैसे मान लो कि सिक्योरिटी में है, अगर तुमने किसी गवर्नमेंट अगर DRDO में जाओगे तो बहुत से साइंटिस्ट जो C-DAC जो स्टूडेंट जो C-DAC के पढ़े हुए हैं उन्होंने क्वालिफाई किया हुआ, उनके लिए आसान होता है क्वालिफाई करना।
अच्छा सर, जैसे किसी से ये एआई कोई स्टूडेंट है तो उसका क्या विजन क्या होता है कि मतलब हमें एल्गोरिथम बिल्डअप करना है, क्या बिल्डअप करना है, ये हम क्या मतलब वो करते हैं कि हम किस चीज की तैयारी करते हैं, सीखते क्या है? एल्गोरिथम बिल्डअप की कोई चीज हमें सॉर्टिंग करनी है क्या, ये हम जानना चाह रहे थे।
देखो, एक तो AI में है ना, एक मशीन लर्निंग इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट। मशीन लर्निंग तो तुम्हें मालूम है कि नहीं मालूम है? मशीन लर्निंग एक इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है।
हाँ, सिस्टम को ट्रेन करना ना।
हाँ, सिस्टम को ट्रेन करना। AI जो हो गया है ना कि AI जो मॉडर्न AI की बात कर रहे हो तुम, जो बात कर रहे हो हम मॉडर्न AI की बात कर रहे हैं। ट्रेडिशनल AI में रूल बेस्ड सिस्टम होता था, एक्सपर्ट सिस्टम की बात करते थे, तो ट्रेडिशनल AI में। अभी हम लोग मॉडर्न सिस्टम जहाँ पर डेटा यूज कर, डेटा से मीनिंग फिच करना, ठीक है। तो
अच्छा।
अब जैसे कि एक एग्जांपल है, जैसे मेडिकल डोमेन में है, तो मेडिकल डोमेन में तुमने एक्सरे करवाया, एक्सरे करवाने के बाद फिर डॉक्टर देखता है, वो देखते हो तुमने देखा कि उसको किसी को निमोनिया है कि नहीं निमोनिया है। तो अब ये AI से ट्रेन करके, इमेज को पिकअप करके ट्रेन करके हम निमोनिया, AI सिस्टम बता देगा
प्रेडिक्ट
कि
करते हैं।
हाँ कि निमोनिया, प्रेडिक्ट कर देगा निमोनिया है कि नहीं है, और ये एक्यूरेट होगा। जो ट्रेनिंग हुआ, ह्यूमन आईज तो धोखा भी दे सकता है, लेकिन ये एक्यूरेट होगा। उसी तरह से किसी भी डोमेन में अभी तुमने देखा होगा, जब भी तुम गूगल पर कुछ टाइप सर्च करते हो, अपने आप तुमको एक ये देता है कि एडवाइस देता है कि तुम ये टाइप कर रहे हो।
गूगल लेंस वगैरह।
हाँ, नहीं, गूगल में जो कुछ भी गूगल में कुछ भी टाइप करते हो तो तुमको एडवाइस देता है कि तुम शायद ये टाइप करना चाह रहे हो। तो ये सब AI बेस्ड इनेबल्ड है। उसी तरह से मार्केटिंग साइड में बहुत सारी AI में किस तरह से कस्टमर तुम्हारे यहाँ रूट होगा, कैसे रिटेल में कैसे हो, कौन से सामान कहाँ रखना है। जैसे कि अब तुम स्टोर में जाते हो, सिंपली सपोज कि बिग बाजार में गए, तो कौन से सामान के बगल में कौन सा सामान रखना है, तो दैट की लोगों को आसानी हो। तो बहुत सारी चीजें हैं। ओबामा का केस उन्होंने दिखाया कि वॉइस को कैसे मॉड्यूल करते हैं। इनफैक्ट कुछ दिनों में तो AI फिल्म बनाएगी, खुद AI इसके थ्रू ही फिल्म बनाएगा, ठीक है ना।
ओके, होपिंग सो फॉर दैट।
सॉन्ग लिखेंगे। तो AI इज इन एवरी डोमेन। ओके, व्हाट आई मीन टू से।
अच्छा सर, एक चीज और कि यहाँ एवरेज प्लेसमेंट क्या रहता है, एवरेज प्लेसमेंट का पैकेज क्या रहता है, और प्लेसमेंट परसेंटेज क्या रहता है?
तो AI में क्या है कि मोस्टली, जो मैंने पहले भी बताया था, कि ज्यादा कंपनी आती है जो कि स्टार्टअप होती है, क्योंकि स्टार्टअप ही ज्यादा AI के कोर डोमेन में काम करती है। बड़ी कंपनी में आदमी क्या होता है कि AI में जाता है, लेकिन AI में काम करने का मौका AI इंजीनियर ले लेते हैं, लेकिन काम करने का मौका मिलता है उनको, क्योंकि उनके पास में डेवलपमेंट होता है। AI का बहुत ही सैलो काम करते हैं वो लोग, तो वो नहीं होता। लेकिन अगर छोटी कंपनी में जाते हो तो तुम एज ए AI एक्सपर्ट जाते हो, तुम AI पर ही काम करोगे। तो पैकेज बहुत वैल्यूबल होता है। मेनली हम लोग तो अलाउ नहीं करते हैं 5 से नीचे आने का कंपनी को, तो 5 के ऊपर होता है पैकेज। एंड 8 से 10 लाख के आसपास में तक जाता है पैकेज अभी अभी का जो स्ट्रेंथ है। लेकिन एक इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है कि इफ यू कंसीडर विद अदर डोमेन, अगर आप जो एक सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट वाला डोमेन देखोगे तो एआई वाला डोमेन का जो 2 साल के बाद जो या 3 साल के बाद जो पोजीशन होता है इनसे बहुत ऊपर होता है, हो जाएगा
ऊपर होता है।
हाँ, ये स्पेशलाइज हो जाते हैं ना, ये स्पेशलाइज हो जाते हैं, तो इनका जो ग्रोथ पाथ होता है फास्टर होता है। लेकिन कब यही काम सब तो नहीं करते हैं, कंपनीज भी कम आती हैं, 30-40 कंपनी होती है। डैक में जाओगे तो कम से कम 200 कंपनी 250 कंपनी आती है, लेकिन 40 कंपनी, लेकिन नंबर्स भी कम होते हैं इसमें। डैक में अगर तुम्हारे पास में 2500 स्टूडेंट या 3000 स्टूडेंट्स हैं, यहाँ पर एआई में हार्डली कितने हैं, करीब 100 भी नहीं होंगे, तो इस तरह के 100-120 स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं। तो कंपनी
100 पे लगभग कितनी कंपनीज आती हैं?
पिछले बार तो मेरे पास तो डेटा है उस हिसाब से 40 कंपनीज है।
40 कंपनीज फॉर 100 स्टूडेंट्स,
not 40,
मतलब एटलीस्ट
50 कंपनीज है।
ओके, 2 स्टूडेंट्स पे एक कंपनी टाइप का।
TCS भी उसमें है, बैंक ऑफ अमेरिका है, मर्सिडीज बेंज है, ये लोग बड़ी कंपनी है। KPIT टेक्नोलॉजीज है, C-DAC तो रिक्रूट करिए काफी, C-DAC ने काफी रिक्रूट किया, C-DAC के R&D ने काफी रिक्रूट किया है। तो बड़ी कंपनीज भी आती हैं, छोटी कंपनी यस टेक्नोलॉजीज हैं, तो बहुत बड़े के, और मेरे पास जो लिस्ट है उसमें 50 कंपनीज है। इनफैक्ट HCL टेक्नोलॉजीज है, बट हाँ वो भी है।
अच्छा सर, अगर मैं किसी ऑटोमोबाइल कंपनी के लिए एम कर रहा हूँ तो मेरे को रोबोटिक्स में जाना चाहिए कि एआई में जाना चाहिए?
दोनों को लेते हैं, दोनों को लेते हैं। अगर तुम्हें इंटरेस्ट है तो बैकग्राउंड क्या है?
मेरा CS है सर, 21 पास आउट।
गो फॉर एआई।
आई शुड गो फॉर एआई, ओके।
कैंटर वाला बंदा है अनिकेत था ना, कौन था उसको पहले जो बात कर रहा था?
कुंदन।
कुंदन can go for this, robotics. But since you are from the CS background, you can very well choose AI.
I have studied about neural networks and some of these statistics things, but don't know much more about that. So I should go for AI, I think.
इंटरेस्ट होना चाहिए तुमको और मेहनत करने की कैपेबिलिटी, एफर्ट लगाना पड़ेगा, है ना?
वो तो सर, वो तो है ही जिंदगी में सभी जगह है। Okay sir, thank you sir.
Okay, thank you. Sir, one question from YouTube. Shubham Sinha is asking, I am from mechanical background, don't have strong hands-on on maths, but love AI and ML. Is it possible to go through smoothly during course, or one should be good one in maths, then only could have future in AI?
What is the name?
Shubham Sinha, sir.
Shubham, in fact, we have designed this course in such a way that with a very gentle knowledge on maths also you can do this, because we are covering most of the things, most of the maths which is required for the AI within the course itself. It's not only math, it's statistics as well. So both math and statistics, we are enough statistics and enough maths we are covering within the course. Also, you'll have enough hands-on using those knowledge when you develop the models or when you develop the algorithms. So enough practice would be going to happen. So that's fine if you have only the very not very good in knowledge about the math right now.
But he has mentioned that he loves AI and ML, so that is why he should certainly go through it.
Certainly he can go through it. Because whatever maths, whatever things are there, that is anyways going to cover in the course itself.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So now coming back, Aniket Bonsule, you can unmute and ask your question.
Yes, sir. Sir, मेरे दो क्वेश्चन थे सर.
If possible, you can switch on your video, if possible.
Sorry, sir.
No problem. Go on.
सर मेरे दो क्वेश्चन थे सर. सर पहला क्वेश्चन ये था कि सर मैं मैकेनिकल बैकग्राउंड से हूँ और सर जैसे अभी प्रीवियस क्वेश्चन पूछा गया है कि एवरेज इन मैथ, so I should opt for which course, either DBDA or DAC, or I mean sorry DBDA or AI.
Both the courses are having different objectives. Okay, DBDA is an analytics course that also requires a lot of maths. Okay, particular mostly the statistics part. In DVD, mostly you have the statistics are there basically. Maths is also there because you are learning machine learning, all those sort of things are there. The machine learning, the deep learning, the reinforcement learning, and the NLP, what we are teaching in AI, requires a lot of mathematics and the statistics matter, deep knowledge of that. Anyways, we are going to cover the entire thing, the entire mathematics part within the course itself. So you don't have any problem. Only you have to put in, you concentrate yourself in on the studies, analytical capacity you have to enhance, and you have to work on that. So it's up to you. See, analytics is one aspect. We had started 7 years, 8 years back, and it's smoothly going on. We have almost 300, 350 students we are getting trained every year, every 6 months from different C-DAC centers and the ATCs. AI is a new thing, but it has got a very, very bright future. Okay, very, very bright future basically, because everywhere AI is getting involved. Because this even sometime the data part will also be the part of that AI. So if you are really want to work hard, then go for the AI. Otherwise, it's your option. You can choose the other courses, either DAC or the DBDA or any other course.
ओके सर. एंड सर सेकंड क्वेश्चन ये था सर कि जैसे रोबोटिक्स जो कोर्स है सर, इसके लिए सर मैम ने जैसे बताया कि C-DAC ने बहुत सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स बनाए हैं, तो मोस्टली स्टूडेंट C-DAC ही हायर करता है क्या सर रोबोटिक्स के?
रोबोटिक्स का अभी हमारा पहला कोर्स हुआ है. फर्स्ट बैच इज कमिंग आउट. फर्स्ट बैच में हमने केवल 7 लड़कों को लिया था. तो वो होगा तो जो रिक्वायरमेंट होगी C-DAC की वो तो ले लेंगे. बाकी इंडस्ट्री वाले भी हमसे कनेक्ट हो रहे हैं. उनको भी मालूम चल रहा है कि हमने रोबोटिक्स कोर्स लॉन्च किया है, तो वो भी आएंगे और वो भी सिलेक्ट करेंगे. तो ऑलरेडी वी आर इन टच विद द इंडस्ट्री. Almost we are coordinating. Saket himself is coordinating with the industry, so we are hopeful. Placement is scheduled in the month of April. We are hopeful that willingness of the company will also come. They will also recruit. But otherwise, C-DAC is recruiting some of them from the.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Aniket. One question from YouTube. Shubham Sinha has asked before though, but I think I could only reply to it. What he is repeatedly have asked is, what is the difference between, he has named Sunbeam, another center all over India. Some people are coming from non-IT background, how they would get to know their interest, or they should just go blindly. So Shubham, as IT sir has explained today, and yesterday also Johnson sir has explained in detail, it is your responsibility, and it is C-DAC has taken the responsibility when it says that every center is equally doing its capacity building with the quality trainers and is following a process which has been designed centrally. It may be a C-DAC center, it may be a ATC. So everywhere the quality is maintained in terms of trainer, in terms of subject, in terms of delivery. So you should not be influenced by those words of from social media or anyone such, until and unless it is spoken by someone authority from C-DAC. So if you have heard today and yesterday also, as both of our senior members has said, all centers are equivalent. It is you who will choose what is the course you want to take depending upon the future perspective you see and your interest. So don't be influenced by those words coming from anywhere. Now, going back to next person, Abhishek, you can unmute and ask your question.
Sir, I have completed MSc in physics. Sir, in future क्या हम research sector में जा सकते हैं AI का कोर्स करने के बाद?
फिर से बोलो.
Sir, he has done MSc. He has done MSc in physics. He's eligible for AI. So he's asking that since my background is MSc in AI physics, क्या मैं AI का ये कोर्स करके अपना डोमेन चेंज कर सकता हूँ, मतलब IT में आ सकता हूँ?
AI का जो डेवलपमेंट हुआ, AI नया चीज है. AI का 1956 में AI का नाम दिया गया था, समझे? आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस का पहले बार बताया गया था. तो इस आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस भी कुछ होता है. तो अभी तक जितने भी लोगों ने एआई में काम किया है सारे फिजिसिस्ट थे, है ना। चाहे वो पेनरोज ने काम किया हो या आइंस्टीन ने उस पेपर में कंट्रीब्यूट किया हो या फिर सारे लोग जो फिजिसिस्ट थे, फिजिक्स में उनकी ट्रेनिंग भी थी। मैक्सिमम मैंने देखा है जो भी साइंटिस्ट थे जो एआई में काम कर रहे थे वो फिजिक्स वाले थे। आज भी फिजिक्स बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है, और जो नॉलेज इस फिजिक्स में इस तरह से आपका इंटेलेक्चुअल डेवलपमेंट होता है। फिजिक्स बहुत फिलॉसफी से बहुत रिलेटेड होता है। जिस तरह से फिजिक्स में इंटेलेक्चुअल डेवलपमेंट होता है वो बहुत एसेंशियल होता है एआई में अपने आप को डेवलप करने के लिए। तो फिजिक्स वाले के लिए वेरी मच वेलकम। अगर आप मेहनत करना चाहें, मेहनत करेंगे, अच्छे से हमने फिजिक्स पढ़ी है तो आपके लिए कुछ चीजें बहुत आसान होंगी, आप अच्छा करेंगे कोर्स।
सर इन फ्यूचर क्या हम रिसर्च सेक्टर में भी जा सकते हैं?
एकदम जा सकते हैं। अच्छा करेंगे, परफॉर्म करेंगे अच्छा, तो क्यों नहीं जा सकते हैं।
ओके, थैंक यू सर।
Any other question from you guys? Kundan, okay.
सर कंपनीज का रिस्पांस कैसा है मैकेनिकल स्टूडेंट के प्रति, क्या बोलते हैं एआई?
कुंदन, मैं इसको आपको क्लियरिटी लाता हूँ। इट्स ओके, बिकॉज मैं अगर उस फेज में होता जहाँ पे आप हैं तो मैं भी एक डाउट मेरे मन में आता है। लेकिन मैं ये सिर्फ 1 या 2 साल, मैं भी एक्स में हूँ फ्रॉम लास्ट 7 years एंड सर इज देयर फ्रॉम लास्ट बिगिनिंग. So as he has said repeatedly and as Johnson sir has said yesterday and as I am saying, it all depends on 100%. I'm not saying probability. It 100% depends on how you are performing in this 900 hours. So you forget the past. You can't do anything about it, right? You forget the past. Since you are eligible, we have set a eligibility criteria. आप उसमें eligible हो तभी आप यहाँ आ पा रहे हो. तो हमारी टीम जो ये डिसाइड करती है, पूरे हाई जो भी ऑफिशियल्स हैं अक्रॉस द सेंटर, उनकी टीम रहती है. दे डिसाइड द एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया. यू हैव सेट इन इट, you have qualified the C-CAT exam, you have got the rank, you have got the center. Now your worriness should not be कि मेरा मैकेनिकल था यार तो कंपनी क्या रिस्पॉन्ड करेगी. कंपनी जो C-DAC में आएगी ये ऑलरेडी नोज कि ऐसे बच्चे आ रहे हैं. उन्हें क्या देखना होता है कि उसका परफॉर्मेंस इस C-DAC 900 आवर्स में कैसा रहा. तो दे वुड नॉट आस्क यू, इवन इंटरव्यू में आप बैठेंगे तो वो ये नहीं पूछेंगे आपने कहाँ से किया इंजीनियरिंग. वो ये पूछेंगे कि अच्छा AI में किया है तो DNN के बारे में ये बताओ, tell me a formula about it, how can you train a model. So questions would be around this. So don't worry, there is no filter of any companies who are coming from DAG, AI, DRAT or any of such kind that mechanical को अलग करो, CS को अलग करो. ऐसा नहीं होता है. So वो have a clarity and then apply and then give your 100% towards the course.
Okay.
All
Thank
right. Ajit, you have raised your hand. अजीत सालुंके, you can unmute. आप म्यूट पे हैं. Shreyas, I think you have another question. Shreyas, you can unmute.
सर इसके लिए प्रीरिक्विजिट्स क्या चाहिए?
AI के लिए आप पूछ रहे हैं?
Yep.
Since I am taking care of this and sir has already said though, but sort of analytical mind is very much compulsory because moreover आप जब maths, statistics और model train में जा रहे हैं तो there is a niche of human mind is already, मतलब जरूरत है उसका कि to understand which model would be good, how to find out data insights, how to find out data points जहाँ से आप train करेंगे model. That is one point, analytical mind. To activate that, to activate your analytical mind, plus a sort of programming concepts clear. बिकॉज हम लोग पाइथन को हम लोग बहुत थॉरोली कवर करते हैं. ऐसा मैं नहीं कह रहा हूँ पाइथन पढ़ के आइए.
पाइथन मैंने पढ़ी है, मतलब बेसिक आइडिया मैंने पढ़ रखा है.
ग्रेट, वो आपके लिए अच्छा है. जिन्होंने नहीं पढ़ा है उनके लिए भी कुछ तकलीफ की बात नहीं है क्योंकि हम लोग 90 आवर्स में उसका 90 आवर्स इज मोर देन सफिशिएंट. अक्रॉस 3 hours ईच डे वी डू प्रैक्टिकल एंड थ्योरी. सो उसमें थॉरोली कवर्ड होगा पाइथन. सो प्रोग्रामिंग कंसेप्ट एंड एनालिटिकल माइंड विद मैथ्स inclination would be prerequisite, nothing else.
सर वो एनालिटिकल माइंड के लिए जो प्रैक्टिस करनी है वो कैसे करनी है ये मैं कुछ जानना चाह रहा था.
मैं उसकी प्रैक्टिस तो मैं सेट ऑफ रूल्स कुछ है नहीं. उसकी प्रैक्टिस यही है कि if you are more. Yes sir, आप कुछ बोल रहे थे सर.
You should be a thinker. Okay. हमने क्या
I am a very good thinker, I think so.
आजकल के बच्चे क्या होता है कि थिंक नहीं करते कोई जिसको वो चीज कर आया कि पूछना है तो सीधे गूगल से पूछ लेते हैं, है ना?
नहीं,
तो you have to have a kind of, you should think on that कि ठीक है मैं खुद पहले पता करता हूँ उसके बाद मैं गूगल से पूछूंगा. So it's all about that. We understand the current generations, the current requirement of the current generations. Accordingly, faculty has been trained, oriented, and necessary thing has been put in there so that आपको वो ट्रेनिंग भी हो जाएगी और साथ में आपको जो भी प्री रिक्विजिट है वो भी कवर हो जाता है बेसिकली. लेकिन अभी से क्या करो कि अगर तुम्हें सीरियसली थिंकिंग you have still 1 month in hand to go for the courses. So you start studying some matrix, linear algebra, vector space, then little bit of statistics. So एक अपना एक background से करना शुरू कर दो so that you have a easy going while teacher is conducting the class.
अच्छा सर एक बात बताइए, ये कौन सा सेंटर चूज करना है ये तो मुझे पता नहीं है, ये कैसे किसकी प्रेफरेंस देनी है, कैसे क्या करना है. मेरा कोर्स तो डिसाइड है, लेकिन प्रेफरेंस किस सेंटर, क्योंकि मैं तो ना पुणे में हूँ, ना पटना में हूँ, ना नोएडा में हूँ, तो ये कैसे मैं डिसाइड करूँ?
When you have a problem with the relocation, you can go anywhere or not.
नहीं, मुझे जाने में कहीं कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, लेकिन जैसे किस उसको इंस्टीट्यूट को प्रेफरेंस देनी है ये कैसे?
कोई भी इंस्टीट्यूट दो, देखो क्वालिटी सब जगह में मोरलेस एक ही होती है ना? पुणे में भी दे सकते हो, अलग अलग जोन भी है, प्लेसमेंट जोन भी है, कंपनी ऑलमोस्ट हर एक विजिट करती है. पुणे की कंपनी नोएडा जाती है, नोएडा की कंपनी पुणे आते हैं, पटना आती है, पटना जोन में कोलकाता आती है. इस तरह से हर एक तरह के होते हैं. तो इट्स अप टू यू. Patna Center is only having the second batch. You are thinking about Noida and Pune is having I think third batch. Third batch एक ahead है उनका batch. वो है. Patna Center is having advantage कि now we have a AI best supercomputer with us. So that is kind of an advantage. What we are working on this AI cloud also. So we are strong.
फिजिकल तो हो नहीं रही है, क्लास तो ऑनलाइन ही चलेगी.
तो आजकल जरूरत नहीं होता है ना, उसके लिए तो लिंक मिल जाता है, लिंक में तो काम कर सकते हैं. इसके लिए जो फिजिकली आने की जरूरत नहीं है, फिजिकली आने की जरूरत नहीं होती. तुम्हारे उसका VPN का लिंक मिल जाता है, VPN का लिंक के थ्रू यू कैन एक्सेस दैट. बहुत से हमारे कोर्सेज है इसमें कि जिसमें हाई पावर्ड कंप्यूटिंग की जरूरत है, HPC की जरूरत है, वहां पर हम VPN लिंक के थ्रू दे देते हैं उनको फैसिलिटीज. तो तुम्हारे लैपटॉप पर बैठ करके तुम चीजें कर सकते हो.
अच्छा, लैपटॉप रिक्वायरमेंट की कोई बहुत ज्यादा उसकी जरूरत तो नहीं होगी ना?
नॉर्मल जो बता दो पैकेज कितना है.
So if you are Shreyas, if you are opting for AI, तो I would recommend कि देखो दो केस है, जैसे सर ने बोला कि आजकल रिमोटली हम लोग इंस्टेंस देते हैं so that you can train your model, because practicals जो होंगे वो मॉडल बेस्ड होंगे, मॉडल ट्रेनिंग होगा. तो आपको I would recommend i7 16GB you should go for it.
i7 16GB
or i5 16GB would also work. i5 or i7. Not
16GB should be there. And graphics card अच्छा है तो वो ज्यादा advantageous होगा.
I have Nvidia GeForce, I think 1080 Ti, and i5 8 Gen, but 8GB RAM only.
That would work. It means I'm saying optimal.
8GB would be less, but 16GB करवा दो ज्यादा better होगा.
Okay sir. सर एक चीज और पूछना था कि कैसा फ्यूचर में इसका रिस्पांस कैसा रहेगा इस टेक्नोलॉजी का?
श्रेयस, मुझे लग रहा है कि सब क्वेश्चंस आप क्लियर कर लोगे.
सर क्योंकि ये थोड़ा सा मेरे को यहाँ पे ग्लिच है कि ये ऐसा ना हो कि बाद मैं इसको कर रहा हूँ उसके बाद में फ्यूचर में इसका वो ना रह जाए.
देखो सिस्टम के मैं दोनों, सर ने ये आंसर दे दिया रिपीटेडली, इसलिए आई वुड जंप इन. सिस्टम वाइज इट इज मेंशन्ड दैट 8GB would work. i5 8GB is working. I've just recommended optimal way if you can go for.
मैं इसके लिए नहीं कह रहा.
I'm coming back. तो वो क्वेश्चन आप ठीक है, आप 8GB i5 के साथ आप चल सकते हो, नो इशू. Regarding career perspective, देखो always keep in mind whatever course we designed, or as sir has said, it is reviewed every year. तो हम ऐसा कोई कोर्स एनी हाउ कोई ट्रेनिंग इंस्टीट्यूट और स्पेशली C-DAC would not keep जो ऑब्सोलीट होने वाला है, राइट? So when we are introducing AI or robotics or DBDA, So in this near background we have introduced in last 1 or 2 years, so we have understood that it has a career of around, and as the expert speaker has also said today, he's already working in this domain. He's not of C-DAC. He has said that at least 30 years is nowhere without AI. So anyone who is working across domain in IoT or robotics, जैसे robotics के कोर्स में भी आपने देखा एक मॉड्यूल है AI ML based robotics. So around 30-40 years what they are predicting, but obviously it would go beyond. So I think any course you opt, and especially AI and some specialized courses which C-DAC is offering, you should not worry about your career perspective कि future में जाके मुझे change करना पड़े. ऐसा नहीं होता है. Instead, ऐसे बहुत मैन पावर हैं जो IT कंपनीज में काम कर रहे थे, जॉब अपना उस पर रिजाइन देके, अभी 2-3 आपने पिछले कल भी सुना है ना, 2-3 रेजिग्नेशन देके वो फिर ये कोर्स करते हैं, स्पेशलाइज्ड कोर्स, कि हम लोग फिर अपना कैरियर सेट करें. सो व्हेन यू हैव दिस चांस टू ऑप्ट, आप अपने मन में ये शंका मत रखो. आई गारंटी.
ठीक है सर, थैंक यू सर.
ओके, नाउ टेकिंग क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम यूट्यूब सर. शुभम सिन्हा का क्वेश्चन we have answered his question. He is just thanking for it, and he's also asking how much GAP, how much gap means while placement to campus, entertain, or just new startup companies go for such students. Gap is not any obstruction here in C-DAC placement. As I said repeatedly, it is all about the dedication you put on these 900 hours and what you give, because they do not see, many of the students have done their BTech in 7 years. They have also got placed. Many of students have had a gap of 1 year, then they did a job, then a C-DAC course, and they got the placement. So you should not worry about that. Next question, sir, is from Eknath Zavare. He's asking, sir, I have less than 60% in 12th. Can I also apply for AI?
बता दो.
Okay. So the eligibility criteria is only for graduation, Eknath. So you should not worry about this. You can certainly apply. Even 40%, 45% students can apply. क्योंकि हम लोग graduation के eligibility criteria देखते हैं. Eknath, you can certainly apply. All right. I don't think any more raised hands or any queries on YouTube. So I would like to end this expert session and interactive session for from Director C-DAC Patna and 2 experts from C-DAC Kolkata, Joint Director Hina Ray ma'am and DP Sharma sir. Thank you ma'am, thank you sir, and thank you Aditya sir for joining us throughout this 2-hour session. And thank you Kaushal sir from C-DAC Pune who has joined us, and thank you all candidates. All the best, and do your best, apply for the best course, dream course you have thought of. It may be in any domain, any center. Go for it, don't miss the chance. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all. Thank you. Bye.